on a page, write down on a page, it's a beautiful day to be alive. Nice one. Hiya. This is Strides Podcast. This is the start and an introduction to a training log from me. Paul, I'm going to be the host of this. First episode went on yesterday and it went quite well. We got it with Neil. Neil Graney, fellow former athlete, more of a long distance runner. Maybe I'm more of a long distance runner too. I don't know yet. We'll find out in the long run. It's going to be all about my training pretty well. I say it's going to be all about my training. It's going to have my training in it, and it's going to be how I feel, what I'm doing throughout the weeks and months and years, hopefully. Not going to be day by day. It'll be put up whenever I have it put up. It's going to be either me on my own or it'll have me with a guest. So yesterday we've recorded the first one with Neil, just because he's a fellow athlete. He knows the crack. He knows what to say, what questions to ask, and how to react, more importantly, to each thing that happened. And there was a lot of stuff that happened this year. There was a lot of stuff from going from injuries to losing weight, to gaining weight, to losing muscle eating itself, 3 injuries, 3 different races. And yeah, just generally how the year went. Little bit of a ramble and random conversations taking place and very heartfelt conversations as well at the same time. It's been a while since myself and Neil spoke to one-on-one and had something as nice, or something like a conversation as nice as that, with nothing really interrupting. Been years, literally years since we've been able to speak. He's a good guy. He's got a lot to say. A lot of good, interesting things, and a very heartwarming story towards the end. So I hope you enjoy. A recap of the year.
Have we started, yeah?
So it's running, yeah.
It's running,
It's running, yeah. we are go, yeah. It's, again, it's very conversational, though. It doesn't matter which way it goes. Yeah. The last one I had there, recall, was hilarious, because we went from Formula One, Bermuda Triangle, the project his dad is working on in Abu Dhabi to, wherever.
Yeah,
things like these are going to be more structured because it is effectively my training log. So it needs to have that in it. But in terms of training, how much running have you been doing this year?
Nothing.
You've been doing nothing?
Never, like.
Really?
I said the last time I went for a run was last summer. I didn't even go for a run last summer. I'd say about this time last year, probably.
Really?
Yeah. Like soccer's just taken over, like.
Yeah.
When
Soccer's always been there for you, though, hasn't it?
Yeah, but when
in
you
the
do...
same way that athletics has been for me.
Yeah.
It's been there for you.
From when I was like 5, 6, whatever, like.
Yeah.
But when you do like one sport and then you want to do it seriously, like, you know the way it is, you can't... The same with athletics, you can't do another sport, like.
Exactly, yeah.
So,
and I can't. I mean, I'm gonna be probably run off my feet now with this and just doing that. There's a few other things I want to do as well. But most of the things that I've been looking to do, like introducing yoga, is a big thing. And that's helped.
It's meant to be very good. A lot of people I went to college with used to do it.
Well, I can vouch for it. It is really good. And I've noticed huge differences in just getting out of bed. I mean, I'm only 24 as well. I only started at 8.
Talking like an owl.
Exactly, yeah. But that's the difference it made. You know, it's very, very subtle. And the longer you do it, the better you would get.
I could never get into it. I don't know.
You have to kind of commit.
I can't just like put my whole mind into it without my mind wandering, if you get me, like. Yeah. I can't just be there and like focus. It's terrible, like, it's a terrible thing, like everybody should be able to just be in a moment, focus your mind on a specific thing, but I just can't do it, like, when it comes to like yoga.
That definitely takes training. That definitely takes, you have to get used to it, because when you're doing yoga and she says, we're just going to breathe now.
Yeah.
You know,
I just get so impatient.
Sit somewhere comfortable. Yeah, but I like you have to challenge yourself. You have to think, right.
You do.
You're just on this, and it's great when you're doing a pose. You're like, you have to concentrate, because if you don't concentrate, you're out of position, and then you can actually injure yourself. So you have to just make sure your back is straight. You know, you've got all these different things to think about, which is nice because it kind of forces you to listen.
Yeah.
And to yourself and to get into the pose or the posture or focus on your breathing and all that kind of thing. Whereas if you go on a run, your mind wanders.
Oh, completely. Like,
you go into you
think about everything.
And exactly. Everything. This is grand and this is perfect. And you might think about how your foot is landing a certain way or how your breathing is, what your posture is like and how you actually are running and how you feel. But then that can all just swiped away and you can be thinking of last Saturday night or you can be thinking about something someone at work said or you can be, and you can run through ideas in your head.
Do you know what I found great actually for switching off? Like, I remember when I was living in Dublin, I had memberships to the gym or whatever, like, and I found swimming great because when you're swimming, all you can think about is your next stroke, or otherwise you'll fucking drown, like, Or
right, in life or death.
Like, literally, all you can think about is getting your stroke right, like, whereas when you're running, like, it's second nature, and I used to think, I'll go for a run now, clear my head. Didn't used to clear my head, it used to make it worse.
It doesn't clear my head. It definitely doesn't clear my head, but working out does.
I go for a swim and I just wouldn't think about anything else. I'd just be there in the moment stroking, like.
I would just drown.
Yeah, actually, Oh, yeah, I forgot that.
I can't swim. But that's... I get it though. I can see where that it seems so tranquil and it seems like bliss if that's your thing. And I envy people who are out in the ocean and they're doing their different things and water sports and all that because that again is life or death. If you're surfing,
exactly, you
can hit the water and hurt yourself really badly, or you can hit off a thing, or your board can hit you or something like that. And you have to have your wits about you. Running though. No, you have to watch out for cars. Maybe
if you stop running, you're still fine. You're probably better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
you're better off because your knees are saved and everything is saved. I've been injured 3 times this year already. I started back in February. Got injured at the end of February.
Typical, like. Once you're trying to get back into it, like,
of course,
break the flow,
and I was like, sure, I can do sprints straight away.
Not
about it.
Probably your own fault, yeah.
Oh, entirely my own fault and lack of. And just not known, should have known, but was too stubborn to it'll be fine. Not doing enough stretching, not doing enough recovery, and in the end, this one.
Part of your glute or something?
No, the hip flexor.
Hip flexor, yeah.
Right hand side hip flexor went badly to the point where I actually, when I was driving, it was painful. And your leg is raised.
Did you just strain it, or did you actually damage it?
I damaged it. It's still sore now. If I don't warm up properly, it's still sore. It's a lot stronger now because I've been doing exercises and I've been given that white ball you see down there. That's squeezing in between the legs because I've been told if I'm going to a guy called Wayne Gill in Oranmore. He took one look. The guy the man was talking about. Do you know Wayne?
He comes into policy every day.
No way. Why wouldn't he? Yeah, sure, he's probably regular.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
That's Wayne.
Glasses.
10% vision.
Very nice guy.
He's blind as a bat.
Is he?
That? He's 10% vision. Something like that.
Did not know that.
Yeah. Not blind as a bat, obviously, you can see. Shout out to Wayne. Elmtree, I think, is his place. It's savage, man. You should, even if you've done anything wrong with you, go up to him. Get something done with him. It's unreal. He'll walk you to dry needling is where he helped me out. And dry needling is
how do you find that?
Unbelievable. It's ridiculous. Why do you hate it?
I know it's good, I feel good after it, but I can't stand the feeling of it,
it's weird.
When it's happening,
it's weird,
and then I can't look at it, if I look at it,
I looked down a few times, right, and I've gotten used to it because I've unfortunately had to have it done a few times. And you look down and there's 6 needles in your leg.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Or 3 or 5 or whatever it is. But it's the noise as well. It's a terrible noise.
And the twitch of the muscle,
the relief, just goes boom.
But you don't feel when they're poking at you and your muscle just starts twitching. Do you get that?
Oh, yeah. So then he leaves you there for 20 minutes or whatever, and that's when you really need to. What do I do? You have to find something to kind of keep your mind ticking.
Yeah.
And you have to remember not to move at all, because if you move with needles in your leg, that's a recipe for disaster. Or even tense it. I tensed it one time and I went, oh fuck, and it kind of stayed in that tensed position for a little bit. Just left it the way it was, but that helped out an awful lot. And he gave me loads of stretch. He took one look at me and was like, "You chicken legs, you got nothing," and I had nothing. But long distance, middle distance runners, you don't really have much anyway.
That's funny, because Wayne would always be in, and I asked him one day what to do. He's I'm physio, and then I was wondering, and he said he's in the Elmtree, and then I was never heard of anyone actually go to him, but now you're the first person I've heard of him.
Mam's done her back end. She's got a bulging disc, and she's going to him and has been for the last few weeks. I went to him first because of this injury, and I'd never been to him before. I was going to go to Jane Ann to just get some physio, but she's only available this month. Yeah, apparently, like she wasn't available all of December or any of that time, which is fair enough. I mean, she's on the go constantly, like. But I've emailed her and I've gotten. She seems to be giving me what I need in terms of like nutrition and workouts and stuff like that.
That's good.
I've been trying to keep up on that. Yeah, it's good, and I get stuff off Wayne as well. But to talk about like chronologically, injured in February, took a while to get back after that. That was about a 6-week recovery, I think, because I wasn't able to run. I wasn't able to do anything. Getting out of bed was difficult, and I hadn't started yoga or anything. I was below 9 stone, which is not good for a 24-year-old.
That's not good at all.
It's not good, no. But then again,
you're tall enough as well. Like you're not the smallest. Like
not that tall either. But I'm 5'9". I'm 5'9" and a quarter, I think, if you want to be accurate about it. But yeah. No, you seem to have grown. You came into the kitchen there, and I was like, "Fucking hell, grow every time."
I thought you were like
you've grown a beard though.
6 foot.
Not at all. No,
no. I need to get a haircut and my beard done. You need to just have
trim the old beard.
Yeah, cut my hair around here.
Looks good though, and you're back with the man bun.
Yeah. The sides grown in and all now.
Yeah, I want long. I'm trying to get it long, but the last time I went in, he cut it too much at the back, so I'm gonna have to.
The patience this took. Sides falling down. Fucking.
Yeah, you look like a mom. You look like a fool at the start.
Think about this: like you're going out playing a soccer game, the wind's blowing, the sides are just going everywhere.
Yeah, at the top, and you think you look like David Beckham from 2001 or whatever.
You see a picture or something, and you're like, "Oh, jeez,
terrible."
Christ. But no, it was worth it in the end.
I'll probably be doing the same thing. I just want long hair now.
Yeah.
I had it, and then I went into a barber's and it was snipped, and I went.
Be so careful. Like I remember day one, I went in to my barber in Kilcolligan, and I was like, right, I'm growing my hair. I want to start with just having a man bun on top because my top's already quite long.
Yeah.
And then the sides would grow in gradually. So he just every time I went to him, we were kind of working on it. He cut around here because I just wanted this bit cut, like
Yeah.
And
because you got that the whole way around the back.
Yeah, working on.
Nice one. Yeah.
Line around here, like.
God, you have a proper hairy bun.
Yeah. I haven't cut the top of my hair since my birthday in 2017.
20 now, so that's 2 years.
So 2 years just gone because it's December birthday, like.
Jeez. Oh yeah. Fuck yeah.
So my birthday 2017, I remember I got a haircut, and then that was the last time I cut the top, and I just kind of cutting the sides since.
Mental.
Yeah. Which is like 2 years. It's not that long for 2 years, like.
It's not, but it's still waiting though. You are waiting for it to grow out. I've only ever gotten my hair into a man bun once.
Yeah.
And I just did it because I was like, oh fuck, I can do this.
Yeah, cool.
And it was just a different look.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll go back.
Change it up.
It is, isn't
I like
it?
changing it up.
Yeah. I can't grow any facial hair. I get a pretty good goatee. But I'm not worried about that now because that's just going to cause drag on my face.
Yeah. That takes time as well.
It does take time. And I'm okay with it taking time. I'm not in any rush to grow any facial hair. But
anyway, in chronological order.
Moved home this time last year. Actually, at the end of January, I moved home.
I think I met you in, I'm going to say February or March for a run, a very rare run. I think that was actually last time I ran. Do you remember we went for a run one random day?
Honored. I do remember that, yeah. That was good.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And vaguely. I think we did about 50 minutes, which was a lot for me.
We did Kilcornan. Yeah, and I checked the watch, and we were like, how long were we going? And we were doing close on 50
minutes. I've been doing like 30-minute runs around then.
We did a 10K.
Yeah.
We ran around
That was
twice.
the last time I ran, no joke.
That's insane. Yeah. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
This is perfect. Yeah. This is the way this has worked out.
Yeah. So I think that was the last time I spoke to you, and you had just moved home, yeah. So I'd say it's around February last year, maybe March. Something tells me March, because I think I was in the new job at the time. So
March, yeah. Well, it was late February by the time I got injured, and I probably started running by then. So, or maybe it was March I got injured.
It was probably March that we ran.
You seem to have a really good memory.
I do have a good memory.
I do not have a good memory. So
March. It's March.
It is March. Mm-hmm. Got injured in March.
Yes, because I was going to see Picture This that next day. Do you remember I was telling you about that? No. See, that's my memory.
Your memory is on point, man. Yeah. That's insane.
Do you remember that though? I was telling you I was going to see Picture This the next day in Dublin. I think I was going.
I do remember that. I do.
I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why that sticks out in my mind.
Well, weird things just do though, don't they?
Yeah, because I remember asking you, "Do you like Picture This?" Like, and you were like, "Oh, I wouldn't be mad at them."
Yeah,
and I was like,
"I'm still not."
Yeah, well, that's fair enough.
Were they good?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Really, no surprises. I mean, like they are a good band. Yeah. It's just I just don't listen to them. I listen to Biffy Clyro and Muse and that kind of thing. Are you still playing guitar?
Yes.
Good.
Not as frequently, but yes.
But you still are.
Yeah.
That's good. I've got my drum kit set up in there.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's cool. It's
Let's
nice.
do something. I was going to ask you before you'd asked me to do this if I could send you a few songs that I wrote, see what you think of them.
Absolutely.
And just see if you can put even a bit of a beat to them, or where I can work on it.
Send
Because obviously
them
I
on-
have no experience in music at all.
Send them on through WhatsApp or...
Yeah, because I've written a few
WhatsApp.
bits, like, and one or two people have heard them.
That's cool. I was going to ask you if you started writing music. That's savage.
The first-
Because you haven't been
actually-
playing long.
The first time I've ever performed in front of people was my granddad died last April.
Shit,
And
man, sorry.
I wrote a song for him and performed at his funeral, and I don't know how I did it, but there was about 300 people in the church, and I'd never performed in front of anyone before, but I did it and people liked it. So
Did you get lyrics and everything?
yeah,
Man, that must have been tough.
yeah.
But cool though, at the same
cool,
time. Like,
but-
you're like, Jesus, like, but you can do it.
Oh, it was
A lot
crazy,
of people
like.
can't do that straight off the bat.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
crazy.
Like people, like singer-songwriters who
But
perform.
I look back on that one like, how the fuck did I do it? Like, do you know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
but
you
it was
look back
just,
on-
it felt important at the time because, like, I remember going to see him one day, and we were quite close to our granddad. Like, I think you met him actually. A few, maybe
Might have done,
I
yeah.
think you did. And we were quite close to him. I remember going to see him one day, and it was the day I realised, like, he's gone. Like, you know, and we just went home and started writing. Like,
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's nice. You just channeled the emotion
Yeah.
and just put it into lyrics.
in the space of like an hour or something.
Oh, you could have a hit on your hands.
No,
there,
no,
man.
no.
You could have,
No, not
all
something
those
like that.
songs are written in. Best of You was written in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I know, that's best of You.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
fair
Best of
enough.
You.
And that was, it's 40 minutes
No,
out, I
but, like,
suppose, so.
People enjoyed it, like, you know, and like,
Why wouldn't they, man?
yeah.
That's
down
so
well.
cool.
Yeah.
I've never written a song. I've written lyrics and stuff like that, but I obviously can't play guitar.
Yeah.
But Jesus, man, that's fucking...
I'll send you on the video of the recording of it because somebody recorded it.
Send them all on. Yeah. I'm open to it. I'll listen to them, man. I'll give you proper feedback if it's shit I'm going to tell you. It probably won't be, though.
Yeah.
If you were willing enough to play it in
Well,
front of your
it
family.
could still be shit.
It's not going to be shit, man. It's going to have meaning to it. If it has meaning to it,
I
it's
think
gonna
that's
be
what people
real.
connect with, just the emotional side of it, you know?
Yeah, of course. You wrote it on the point, on
Yeah.
like for an event. You
Yeah.
wrote a song, and that's hard. Comedians can't write jokes for an event, you know.
I know.
So that's
Yeah.
you've blown me away with that. That's incredible. I'm glad I asked that. We'll get into that again.
Yeah, another time.
Yes, yeah, probably.
But
But
yeah, so I think it was
chronologically-
March.
March.
Yeah, there
Right.
you go.
Okay. So I can rely on your brain that I can
Yeah.
just text you or whenever. When did we run that PB? Or you ran your 9 PBs straight?
Oh, Jesus.
But so March then. Get injury free ish. Summertime comes and I'm just doing tempo runs pretty much and long runs. Nothing's really out of the ordinary there. Just trying to get a general
Good base, like.
a good base,
Yeah.
get mileage up. I was doing miles at the time. I was probably doing 6 to 8 miles maybe a run, which is long enough for me.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
good.
when you're getting
You
back
never did
into
long
it, I
distance run.
never. I
No.
can, but I fucking can't stand it.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's annoying, and I know with age, the distance tends to get longer. So for now, it's 800 meters. I'm just going to focus on that. Happy out with that, and then eventually it'll probably go up to. Mike still reckons I'm probably at 5k, 10k.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Mike loved you as a distance runner. Like, I don't know. I think you get more satisfaction out of doing a distance that you enjoy rather than a distance that you're good at. Like,
Well, I'm
you get me,
happy
like-
to go through them all,
Yeah.
and I'm right. But right now it's just 8 because it's by no means like none of them are easy.
No.
But 8 just I mean it's the shortest event I can do. I'm just going to do it. I left athletics doing. We both left athletics doing middle distance 800 meters. You were doing
I hate
longer
the
stuff.
800s,
for it. Yeah. Still had a savage time though. Your times were what?
203 years.
203.
Yeah.
2, I thought you got 202 one stage.
202 maybe, I think, actually.
Yeah. Was there a
I think
201?
No, there definitely wasn't
No, there was
201.
201. Okay, right, fair
202 is pushing it.
So that was the summer, pretty much the summer, and no
No races in the summer?
no races
No.
in the summer. The first race was Tune cross country.
Oh, yes. I texted you after that, didn't I?
You did
Because I think
because you saw the
came
results.
third or fourth, was it?
I came second.
Second.
I came second in my age in the men's
That was
senior.
I saw Mike Tobin did a...
Piece.
Yeah.
He did the piece. He did a piece on each of us. Yeah.
Yeah, and I liked the CrossFit Facebook page, so
Did
it comes
you?
up, you know.
I'm on Facebook again now. So
Yeah?
I
I didn't notice you were gone.
Yeah, see, that's how good I've been at it.
Yeah.
You know, I've no social media. I don't even have Instagram or Twitter on my phone.
I don't use Instagram anymore.
I got rid of them
Yeah.
by default, but I got rid of them. And Facebook is kind of I check Facebook every now and again, but I'm not on it the whole
Yeah,
time.
Facebook's kind of different. Like, it's just kind of news, like, for me.
Yeah,
And then
updates.
Instagram, I deleted Instagram.
Instagram is dangerous.
Very dangerous.
It's really, really
I deleted
dangerous.
it about 9 months ago or something. Couldn't do it anymore.
I'll tell you about my whole thing. Because 2 years ago, pause the whole chronological thing. 2 years ago, when I was living in town, I posted a very inspirational post saying I'm going to change my life and I'm going to put down my lighter and pick up my shoes.
I think I remember it.
Yeah.
So I was on Instagram at the time, yeah.
You've got an elephant's brain. I put that, and as soon as I posted it, brilliant job. I might have stopped smoking cigarettes for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But ultimately went for maybe 3 runs of the year and completely messed with myself and put myself down. Terrible. And I was an idiot. I was that guy who posted and went, I'm going to do this great thing, and then sat on his arse and did nothing and lost weight and gained nothing. So it only took a year later to get back into that. But so that whole summer, all this year, if we just talk about 2019, it's been building a base, which has been running a few miles a day. I'm on kilometers now because I have a Garmin, which are unbelievable. The Forerunners.
Yeah.
325, 235 I think I'm using.
Yeah, I had a Polar watch, and do you remember I was always on kilometers, but everyone else was on miles. Do you remember that? Yeah, I used to measure runs off kilometers, and you were like, tell me in miles how many miles we've done.
Converted, come on, you're good at math.
Yeah.
So going up to kilometers, mentally it's easier because you think you're running quicker and you're running
a kilometer done in like 5 minutes or 4 minutes.
Yeah, like easy run. Like yesterday we did 9k yesterday, and it was me, Mark Davis and Sinead Gaffney, and we ran at slowest was the first one. It was over 5. It was like 5:10. Quickest was 4:20, something like that. So it fluctuated up and down, and it was grand. It was clipping along. You're not going very fast. It's literally a long run. You're gonna have to stretch your legs. You're gonna have to just. They call it training. It doesn't feel like training, but you're going out.
Funny that I say that though. I don't think I've ever gone for a run at Mark Davis and not been clipping.
Yeah, you're moving.
I always struggle.
It's always at some point. I think there was a 4:16k in there at one stage in the thing. And I noticed it straight away because I'm still not up to full fitness yet. But I've noticed it straight away that it needs to. You need to be. He
likes to move it long,
he does like to go, and if he's going, and more often than not, he's chatting away, and we get lost in the run, as you do. But so first race back was Tuam, Galway's cross country, and that went very well.
Good start, yeah.
It was a good start to the year. It was because before that, I had a problem with my groin. So your groin muscle just wasn't 100%. I had 3 injuries this year, as I said. So hip flexor, and then the groin was playing up. So I had to. This was after that race, or no, just on the lead up to that race, because the week before the race in Tuam, I was in Amsterdam, and I did no running, and it was Amsterdam. So and there was food, ate all the crap food, and there was drink had not much drink because I'm not really. I was never a drinker. I'm never into alcohol that much. I'd still have a beer, but I don't like the sesh. So comes with it though. You're either built for it or you're not. I'm definitely not.
I'm definitely not either.
Yeah, Cork at Christmas this year was a good sign of that. I'll tell you about that. But anyway, that was a good race in Tuam. Normal track. It was 8k. Cross country, and you started.
I think there was only once I ran in Tuam. Do you remember that day?
I remember it. We still have. I think we still have a photo. Or do I? What did
you probably one of your worst days in athletics, I'd say. Do you remember?
That was the only race I ever stopped.
Yeah.
I stopped
one of your darkest days in athletics.
That was a terrible day. I got overtaken by an old lad with grey hair, and he shouted at me to stay running. Yeah. And I did. But I stopped for a while. I stopped for probably 2 minutes.
Yeah, so
and that's when I threw it in. That's when I was like, no, I'm done with this. And you had a great day.
But that was my last cross country season as well. I think I quit. I didn't do cross country the next year.
I think that was. I can nearly say for sure that was my last race because I was fed up at that stage.
Yeah.
But came back to it. Tuam 4 or 5 years later. It's something like that.
I'll be 3 anyway, if not 4. Yeah.
3 or 4. And
4, I suppose. Yeah.
Back. It is. It's a long time ago. And came second. Now, the time, I don't know what the time was.
irrelevant cross country.
John
Maroney.
Maroney won it.
He won it. Yeah.
He won it, and he was a good bit ahead of me.
He's a good runner. He's been running solid for the last years.
In the amount of time that the amount of time that we've not been doing it, he's still been doing it. So, and he was always good. He was always thereabouts, and we were always around the same level.
Yeah,
I remember that. So I felt quite proud of myself. Like, that's pretty good. I haven't done any running the last week.
I thought it was very good. Like, when I saw the result, that's why I texted, because I just thought, Jesus, I didn't even know Paul was running. To see him come second was brilliant. Like,
I said the same thing about myself, and a lot of people were very surprised as well. And I'm proud of it. It was a genuine achievement. It's good, and it gave me good hope. And then we come to like 3-4 weeks later, and it was the Novice Open, the Autumn Open.
The
Open cross country.
Is that the Jerry Farnan thing, no?
Don't know. But it's up in
Dublin,
Abbottstown.
Abbottstown.
It's Dublin. Blanchardstown. I think
Abbottstown, though.
It's. I think it's new
It
enough.
used to be on in Phoenix Park, no? I think
might have been. I thought it was actually, because I googled it and it came. Phoenix Park came up.
Yeah, it was on annually in Phoenix Park. I think
it's Abbottstown now, because there's a full cross country course there. If you were, you'd wet yourself if you saw this place. It's
good, yeah.
So you know the way the Americans have full cross country
proper cross country. Like.
This one is kind of the same thing. It's all different laneways and all grass that you can take, and it's
made for cross country.
Yeah. And they have the indoor arena there. The Irish rugby team indoor rugby pitch trains there. Like,
it's about time Ireland did something with cross country, like, because
I mean, like, we had the indoor track. We have all the outdoor tracks. We need a cross country field, a pitch, a track.
Think about some of the places we ran. Like, oh, jeez.
I know. Tune. It's a park.
Tune, yeah.
It's like nothing. No disrespect to Tune, but it's.
But you remember that? It's in that year we ran All Irelands up in Meath, Dunboyne or something.
That's where you got sick.
Yeah.
In the shoot, but we all had a big fry before.
Yeah.
What were we doing?
Scrambled eggs and bacon.
Idiots. Absolute idiots. That was. There's pictures of that downstairs.
That was also the day we got a special fourth place medal that was never given out before.
We got a 4th place medal.
Yeah.
I know, I remember that, because I individually got a 4th place medal in the All Irelands in 2005 for coming 4th in the All Ireland.
Yes, but there was medals for the first 12 in cross country or something, wasn't there? Like, individuals, I think.
Right, yeah. But we got, as a team though, we got a 4th place.
As a team, we got a 4th, because they announced us as 3rd place, and then they did a recount, and it turned out we were 4th, so I felt bad for us.
They gave us. What colour was the medal?
It was bronze as well. Like,
oh, Jesus.
They just changed the engravement on the back.
Yeah. It's with a Stanley medal engraved in.
Put a sticker over it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Be careful with that now. So, Abbottstown was good. That was a cool spot.
How would you run that day?
So, the lead up to that, I took the notion that I don't need dairy in my diet. Right. So this goes to show the lack of. Total notions, right, and total bullshit. But this is the way it was. I have to be honest. So, took dairy out of the diet. Eating healthy, really, really healthy. Greens, vegetables. Kind of didn't really associate myself with carbs for a bit. So
dangerous game, but yeah,
such a dangerous game. Not the game you need to be playing if you're middle long distance running. No. Especially if you're getting back into it, you need carbs. And I knew, like, in hindsight, I know I'm a fucking idiot.
Hindsight's a great thing. Like, at the time, you're thinking like
2020, but at the time, like, I'm doing good.
You believe in this, like,
this is good, and I feel great. But what started off was having milk in lattes. And I didn't want to go to like an Americano straight away, but I felt shit after having a latte, so I changed to oat milk. And have you ever had oat milk in a coffee? Simply
because I work in a coffee shop, so I've tried every sort of kind of milk.
Do you like it?
I make the coffees myself. Oat is okay.
Because I think it's the nicest out of the lot.
I like almond milk, probably.
Oh, you weirdo. No, I disagree.
I hate soya milk. I absolutely just
I've never tried it, but I would.
The nicest, but like, you can't get it many places. Coconut milk.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. I got a coconut milk latte from Costa, and I would get it again. I wouldn't get any of the other ones again, but I would get it again.
Oat milk. The coconut milk. Well, first of all, you have to like coconut.
Yeah, and I love coconut, so.
Well, then it's perfect. It's a match made in heaven, isn't it?
Exactly.
But I just couldn't. I didn't like it, and I got kind of an oat milk latte, and you say that quick enough, they think you see coconut milk latte. So, do you know, it's the O bit.
Yeah.
So, but I got one of them before, and I was disgusted and horrified, and I drank it. It was fine, but it just didn't sit well. But that's what I did. Took dairy out of the diet.
Mm-hmm.
Weirdly, lost a shit ton of weight. and went into Wayne just to get a NCT. And he noticed when he was like, "What's going on? You've lost." You could see it in me. I was like,
"That's mad, isn't it?" Like,
yeah, you've lost everything. So, and I was still working out, not intensely or anything. I was just doing like kind of, because I had no core strength.
Yeah,
I had none of that. We never did any. Well, you might have done. I never did back in the day.
Piece, though, yeah.
Yeah,
it's hard to get consistency with and build up though.
Yeah, and right now it's like, because I want to do it, and it's not just a social thing anymore. It's I'm doing it now, and it's easier because you want to do it, and I've seen gains.
Yeah,
gains. So it's there's that, but so he put me on a really strict. This meeting I had with Wayne was after the Abbottstown race. So, but on the lead up to the Abbottstown race, I'd taken the dairy out of the diet.
Yeah.
Not eating that many carbs as I should have been.
I'm guessing Abbottstown didn't go too well.
Abbottstown didn't go well.
No.
At all.
Yeah.
Right? So as I had the lead up to it, I'm building it up too much now. But start the race, fine. It was 5 laps. I think it was 7.5K. 5 laps, roughly, whatever. It's a long course and it's a tough course. It's quite muddy in places, and there are long hills that you need to climb, and it's tough. So everything was fine going into the first lap, fine. Going into the second lap, I got a stitch. And it was one of the worst stitches I've ever gotten. It took over my entire abdomen.
Disaster, like.
It took over everything, and I couldn't do anything about it. I was holding it, I was pinching it, I was crossing my arms, I was trying different breathing techniques, but all I was doing was slowing the pace for myself. I was getting overtaken by everyone. And they ran the Masters and the Seniors, and I think the junior men in the one race.
Sounds about right.
There wasn't a lot of that was a large number for a race. If you took them individually, there'd be 42 people in the senior men's. So second lap, 4 more laps to go. Got this stitch, didn't know what to do with it. Thought it'll go eventually once I slow down and I can just pick the pace back up again. Didn't happen.
You almost need to stop when you get stitched, don't you? Like,
oh, I nearly did, but I didn't, because I had the David Goggins mentality of fight through the pain, get through it, and the no pain, no gain kind of mentality is dangerous. And that's what I
feel like a stitch won't go unless you kind of stop and take a minute, and then
I was stubborn, and I was in a race.
Yeah,
it was a novice race, so it was an important race.
It's a disaster.
It wasn't important for me because I'm coming back to it.
Yeah. It's important for confidence, though, just to run decently.
It is, but I think it's also important for confidence to get punished sometimes and know your place.
Fair enough,
because it was a big learning curve in that you need to listen to your body.
Yeah.
But I thought I was, so I thought ease the pace down. Everyone had overtaken me at this stage, coming into lap 4, into the final lap. There were people behind me, but there were men that were doing it for their own moral thing. I don't know. They were just there they were doing it for themselves. I was doing it for myself as well, but they were older than me. I don't know how else to say it, but
that's their life, like.
That's their life. Yeah. They've been doing it for the past 60 years.
Yeah.
So came into the final lap. It kind of went away the pain, so I did the thing of seeing the finish line. You get loads of people, so you get a little bit of a boost through the line, and I collapsed on the floor, and I couldn't. No one came near me. I was fine. It was, I was more just to catch my breath. Really annoyed with myself. Terrible. It felt awful and all that, but it was a good learning curve. And skipped to the next week. A few days later, went to Wayne, and he was like, "Oh, you pulled a muscle." So I pulled a muscle here
in your stomach, like,
in my
or
stomach,
in your
behind my ribs, whatever that is. I don't know. Someone listening will know, but I don't. Whatever it was here, it was pulled, and he was like, it was severely damaged.
Fuck.
Why did you take dairy and carbs out of your, this is the whole problem. He said, my body started to eat itself.
That's mad.
So it all went wrong. He said, you need to stop running. Stop running.
Well, then that's the best lesson you could have learned. Like, if you kept going that way, it might have even been something worse. Like,
no, he said you were your organs would have started to eat. Yeah. It would have gotten.
So you're lucky, like,
very lucky. Yeah. So lucky, insane. So was put on a strict diet of eat what you see, and 1 pint of Guinness a day.
Yeah.
No running, Don't do any exercise.
A pint of Guinness every day.
If you wanted to go for a walk, you can go for a walk. Pint of Guinness every day.
Why the Guinness?
Reasons. Iron. Maybe there's a few other things. It's good for you. Like if you drink too much of it, it's bad. But if you have too much of anything,
that's
it's going to go south.
Yeah.
But obviously, he told me to do it, and I did it, and I've been doing it ever since. I've eased back on the Guinness. I think I've gone past that stage. But I've gained weight up to nearly 10 stone now. I think I'm 9 and near 10.
Yeah.
And so that was grand. Got that really weird. I don't know how to say it, but he had this weird kind of very, very blunt knife that he was rubbing up and down the muscle and stuff like that. So that took a week to heal, and I was good to go again. But again, no running, no anything like that. So I haven't been for the first few weeks. I didn't, and then I went right. I'll go out for a normal jog, and it was grand. And it was like over 6 minutes a k. Like it was barely moving.
Yeah,
I was just kind of walking and jogging, and just to keep the head was the biggest one, because your head goes off, or mine does. Once you start burning the calories,
I don't know how you, like, for someone coming back to get 3 injuries and still continue running, like, I don't know how you did that. Like if you come back and you get 1 injury, like, you'd nearly be tempted to just say, it's not worth it. Like,
yeah, but I knew
2 injuries, you'd be like, definitely not worth it. 3rd injury, I'd be like, Jesus Christ,
this isn't for me. Yeah, but the things I changed were recovery. I'm now big on recovery. So magnesium flakes in the bath. I don't do them as often as I should, but I do them more than I did.
Yeah.
Stretching is so vital to everything. So horrible. It sounds so horrible, yeah, but but it's so nice though.
It's nice, but it's just so much effort, and
it's not so much effort. It's not. That's the mentality of old. You're 16-year-old.
This is why I failed.
I know, yeah. This is why I was getting injured and not taking care of myself as well, like not doing things that I should have been. Yoga, I'm convinced, helped me out, and everything that Wayne got me to do.
Yeah,
because you're working against your own body weight and you build muscle.
Do you ever do Pilates? It's similar enough.
I thought about doing it, but I just started doing yoga first because Pilates. It's very similar. Yeah, I think you're moving more.
Yeah, it's a bit more strenuous Pilates.
It's less about the breath.
Yeah,
and
more about the core strength and kind of flexibility.
And from starting yoga, we had one yoga teacher at the start for the first 3 weeks, and then the actual yoga teacher, Mina, I think her name is, it's in French Benoli. Or she came back from India and she was doing a retreat out there, and she came back. She's more about the breath and less about the actual working of the body, because which I kind of miss a little bit, but I'm happy to go through it for now. I'm going to introduce more yoga into the life, because it's definitely helped with the strength. And then I've been using Nike have an app, NTC, I think it's called, or NCT, and they've any amount of workouts that you need on that, with equipment, without equipment, for people who are just want to lose a little bit of weight. It's free app, and you get everything you need from stretching. They walk you through each exercise. I must get praise it enough. It's cool. It's awesome. Yeah, and they got from 7-minute workouts to 45-minute workouts. Everything that you could ever need. And I've been doing that. Since I've been able to get back running. So not long, only maybe a month, maybe 2 months. And I haven't even been doing it as much as I should have been, because January is now where it really kicks up again. Yeah. And it moves on, and I'm up in my mileage now, and I have to go through. I'll have Mark Davis on this now at some stage, because he's a pro with the Excel spreadsheet, and he's going to work out everything, that the training logs that I'll need. But 3 injuries in the 1 year.
But to only have come back to running last February, get to 3 injuries, whatever, like running a 2:01 at the end of December, like when the indoor season has even started, that's incredible. Like, yeah, that was. I was shocked when you told me that you ran 2:01. Yeah, and I don't mean to offend you by saying no. I was expecting. I was expecting a 2:10, a 2:09. And that would have been good. I was breaking 2:10. So happy with that, but
not running an awful lot for the last few weeks. And I really haven't been running an awful lot. It's just been, there hasn't even been any consistency really, because I've been focusing on trying to gain weight and just get healthy before I can become the athlete that I want to be. And having...
Is all that more important than the actual training though? Like, maybe that's what you're proving. Like,
well, it is.
Do you know?
I think it is for me, because I got to a stage where my muscles were eating themselves. Or at least that's what Wayne said. And he said, I was performing on maximum output with minimum input. Minimum input being food and calories and what I need. Yeah. So now at the end of every session, even if it's a long run, it's a smoothie, I've something there, or a bag of nuts. Like I've got these chocolate hazelnuts. Got them, or there's a banana, or there's water there the whole time. And I know this is what you need to do. It sounds stupid when people listen to this, they're going to be going, obviously. We're taught this from day one. But you need to, for me, it's just a growing up thing, and probably is for you as well at some stage. You need to do it yourself to realize that, fuck, you actually do need to do it. You need to be able to, you need to have an intake of calories the whole time, which I was never big on. I was never an eater. I'm never an eater. I was always kind of skinny. I always never finished my dinner. And now I have to strict instructions to finish whatever I have on the plate until I get sick. And no running has been done up until Athlone. It's been very seldom, maybe 2-3 times a week I've been going out for a 5K. And that'd be done in 20 something minutes, just kind of very like stretching the legs kind of, it's grand.
So you've not even been doing any like speed sessions, no tempo sessions?
I did one speed session. It was one tempo session, and it was 5 1Ks at 3:30.
It's good running as well. Like.
And that was fine. So that was a 5K in 17 something minutes.
Yeah, that's good running 3:30.
And that felt good. I felt good. I felt strong.
On grass,
I based that. No, that was on the track up in Crawford. That was around the... Have you been up there since?
Not really.
Oh, you should go up there. You should have a look.
I think...
You can see it from the road.
I didn't see the track. I think I've seen it from the road. I was up there when they were doing it.
It's not fully done now, obviously, but he's got the tartan track, or a length of tartan track.
I saw the sprint track.
He's got like 120 meters or something like that.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Then there's a gravel track around that.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a gravel track. Yeah.
Oh.
But it's nice to run on.
I haven't been there since the gravel, and it was grass last time I was there.
There's grass there as well. Yeah, it was all grass that I was running on for all of last summer.
Yeah.
Which was good. That helps out the joints. And I try and run
winter though, the weather like.
It hasn't been too bad, because you can go. You see, the handy thing about it is it's a boring enough loop once you run it a lot.
Yeah.
But you can go between gravel and grass.
Yeah.
And you're not beating yourself up.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, most of the running that we did was on road, and it felt fine now. But I think that's just because, again, recovery. Mark has a problem with his left hamstring or something. And he seems to be injured every other day anyway. But like it's just a thing that you have to go through. In athletics, you're going to get injured, and I know all about that. So, but coming into Athlone, there was really no training for an 800 being done. I did that one tempo session with Mark. I've done another one since, but it's been 2. Most of it has come from, I think, just having the dexterity of my limbs.
Yeah.
Being able to move my limbs. I'm not able to do the splits by any means. I'm not able to do that, but I can touch my heel comfortably, and I can touch the ground comfortably, and with everything straight and done properly. And that sounds really simple, but when you've never been able to do that, and suddenly you can do it,
you just feel a lot better running.
You just feel a lot better running. You feel a lot more open, and you're preventing injury. So going into Athlone, I ran it with John Cormacan.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He's been running for the last 2 years, I think.
Jeez,
and
didn't know that.
Yeah,
anyone else had run actually out of interest?
Damien.
Well, yeah, I know that. Like he's over in America. Like
he's back now.
I know he was in Poppyseed one of the days as well.
Was he? Yeah,
his American girlfriend.
No way.
Yeah,
fair play.
Yeah.
No, I don't see anyone. I mean, Sinead is still running as well. She's been doing it. She's going out with Keith. Fallon.
Keith Fallon.
From
GCH.
Yeah.
I was in college with him.
Yeah. So really nice car.
Oh, they're going out?
They're going out, yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah. They were over in Barcelona for the New Year 10K. I think it was a
Very
10K.
good.
He ran like a 31.
Oh, he's an animal.
Yeah, it's
I didn't
insane.
actually know he was still running, but he is.
I think he's only coming back in the last, because with the way that the talk is going, or the way I haven't asked anyone or anything, but it seems like that he's not been at it long.
Yeah.
But he was always up there. Like, he was always class.
Phenomenal runner on his day.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, there's no one really. Like, I mean, there was talks of Katie coming back as well, but that was last year, and I haven't seen any of her at all.
Matthew Moore doing anything there?
I don't know. I haven't seen him in years, man. I haven't seen him in a long, long time. Keelan is the same way. I know. I don't think Keelan is running.
No.
But John has started running, and before the race, it was a Donegal Athletics, I think, were running it.
Oh.
It was the Northwest Games, which would make sense.
Yeah.
And they hosted it in AIT, the indoor track there, and it's a great facility. As we know, we've ran all our PBs there.
It's
on that board. It's class. Even the outdoor track is brilliant.
I still actually struggle to understand how they funded that, but anyway.
I don't know. I was in college there at the time, and it was something you could hold your head up high and go. It's
proper state of the art stuff, like, and when being involved with soccer now, like, and you go around Ireland, you see all the poor facilities there are for soccer. Like, you just wonder how athletics got the funding to actually do something like this.
It's about time, though.
Yeah, it is.
Like, the funding for athletics it's terrible in terms of that. It's gotten better, obviously, because we have Abbottstown now, which wasn't there when I don't remember being there, or I've never ran there before this year.
Yeah.
Or last year, I should say.
But, like, the worst thing is, like, you go to the back arse of nowhere up in, like, Mayo or Sligo or somewhere, and they have a state-of-the-art GA pitch with a stand.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you could want in a GA club.
Yeah.
And then you can only have, like, one good athletics facility in Ireland.
Yeah.
Do you know, like,
one.
Yeah, one.
And thankfully it's right in the centre of Ireland, so you're able to get to it. Access is easy. It's from access from all areas, but it's always been that way. I mean, like, I don't know, Mike has worked to the bone to get what he has up there now. There's a building up there now, like an actual
it's mad
brick building.
My dad was doing all the work for it, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, Michael Tobin used to come over at like 11 o'clock at night. Good old Iggy. And hold Iggy up till like 3 in the morning. You know, Mike's body clock's different than everyone else.
Yeah, and he'll be up at 5 in the morning then to go to work for 6.
It's mad.
But yeah, that was a good day in Athlone. There was 4 of us in the race. One guy I didn't know, John seemed to be friendly enough with him, and another guy who I told him what I was going for. I was going for a sub 210, and he was saying, "Oh, right, okay, fair enough." We kind of went, "Oh, Jesus, right." He said, "What's your PB?" And I told him it was 5 years ago, 158. And he went, "Oh, you're in a different league." So and I was like, "Grant." I was in lane 4.
Why? What was his PB like?
He didn't tell me. he came 4th.
Okay.
Put it that way. So the race was good. This is the most recent race.
Did you win the race there?
No. I wasn't far off though. It was a 159.8 that won.
The other guy, not
the other
John.
guy, I don't know. Not John. No, it wasn't John. First time in a race where I looked at the back of someone's head instead of looking at their heels. That makes a difference.
Yeah.
Found that mentally, maybe psychologically, it made a difference.
In a race. I never even thought about that.
I just remember every photo that's ever been taken of me, I've been looking down.
Yeah.
But looking up wasn't just for photos, it was for it kept my head up because I was looking at the back of John's head, and John bounces quite a lot when he runs, so it was like he was up, and he's taller than me anyway, so I was back of his head, took off, normal thing, round first corner, past the cones, tucked in behind John tucked in behind the leader, and it stayed that way until the final lap, and then I found I had a good bit of
an extra gear.
I had that, so dropped the clutch.
Yeah.
Overtook John on that first corner, and the guy who won it was a good bit ahead of this stage. I don't know how many, maybe 20 yards, 21 meters, 20 meters. But I was catching him, so he had obviously exerted. We'd run 2 different races. He'd run a quick. He was a sub 30 second 200 for the first 200. So because I went through it in 30 and I was behind John.
Yeah.
So
he ran a good first 600 and then kind of just
hung on. I hung on for the first 600, and whatever I had left, I gave it and I got past John, and I was catching the guy up ahead, and I came around the final bend, and I could see the 156, 157, and I was like, I'm fucking about to do it. Jesus Christ, I'm about to break, and it did. I was leaning. Because you think leaning is going to make it better, and your lactic acid
probably actually holds you back leaning.
It's built up. Well, let me tell you. So I ran and I ran and I ran, and I saw the 158, 59, 2 minute, and I crossed the line, and but I was leaning so far forward that for the first time I fell.
Oh God!
And I fell after the race.
One of those.
And I had it's only now I'm able to wear pants.
Fuck.
The last 2 days because I had not a big burn, but a burn on my knee. My shoulder got jacked. Here has a burn here.
At least you gave it everything.
Gave it everything, right? So fell, didn't spend too much time on the ground, got up again. I was fucking chuffed. Checked the watch, 2:01, and it turned out that it was a 2:01.83 that I ran on the timesheet. We didn't find that out until 3 or 4 days later. But that was fine. I was happy with it. Even if it was a 2:02, I'm like, I'm bliss with that. That's brilliant. It's
brilliant.
So got upstairs talking to one of the lads, and I started to feel pretty unwell. So I'd never done this either. You've done it. Connor has done it. Everyone else has done it. I've never done it. It was getting changed. I was putting my shoes on. I went, I'm not feeling well at all. So I put my shoes on, and one of the lads was talking to me, and he left. Eventually, I was like, look, I'm going to go to the bathroom. He said, yeah, fine. So I got down the steps, the warm-up area. Warm-up area in Athlone is suspended above the grandstand. So I walked down to the end of the warm-up area, down those steps, had my tracksuit pants with me, and retched. And mouth over the mouth, or hand over the mouth. It's grand, it's fine, don't worry about it. Walked across down the other steps where all the people are sitting, and it was full this day now. There was so many people there. More people than I've seen there at an All-Ireland event. It was insane. It got sick in my mouth again. This is serious. I thought, if you feel like your body's closing in on itself, ran into the bathroom, got sick.
First time, get to the bathroom? Yeah?
Got to the bathroom.
Oh, that's essential.
Got to the bathroom, but it was like, brace now. You have to hold everything back to get this, because you're not about to get sick in the middle of nowhere.
And that's so hard.
That's disgusting. It's awful.
So hard holding that back, like.
It is, yeah. But I'd done it, got to the bathroom, it was fine, puked up. And there was a guy in the cubicle beside me, and I had to apologise to. I threw up first. I don't sound well when I get sick. No one does, but all that kind of thing. And I apologised to the man beside me. He didn't say anything. He just laughed. And cleaned myself up. Fine. Went outside. Felt not much better. Felt better. Was going to go out for a run. Got outside Athlone. And I was walking out the front door of the arena. I went, I'm not fucking feeling well at all. Out over to the grass. Got sick again. Another 4 or 5 times. Chundered. Just terrible. Felt so unwell. Over to the car. Got some money, and I jogged up to the shop for the warm down, for the cool down. And I got 2 smoothies, knocked them back. And they were hard to swallow now.
How was you getting back?
Yeah, it was rough. It was hard because it stung. It really stung like my throat.
I just feel like when you get sick, like as well, your stomach needs like about an hour to settle before you
I know, but this is where the mentality of I need something to eat, I need to keep eating. Yeah. And that's where the whole
that's fair enough, man.
You need to have something in your body. It's always said an hour, maximum 2 hours, you have to have something in your body after.
Especially if you're losing.
If I'm losing, exactly. Yeah, I've got nothing in me at this stage. I've gotten sick nearly 10 times throughout it all, and all my resources are used up. Knocked the 2 smoothies back, and it was fine. And then spent the time then actually warming down, something we never did. You get off the bus. Yeah. Back in the day, your C's up. Like Jesus Christ! Out for the next day run is tragic. Because you haven't done your proper cool down.
I think I did a bit of warming down whenever I was in college, but never enjoyed it.
You were proper athletes there, though.
Yeah, I kind of felt peer pressure into doing it, I suppose.
Yeah, I did as well. Yeah, and that was the thing. That's what kind of nearly made me give it up. In the end, because I didn't want to live the life of an athlete at 19. I just didn't. It wasn't. Appealing.
It's good when you're older, like, because I suppose it gives you routine, it gives you
discipline,
health, like, and discipline,
And Lord knows I have no discipline.
Yeah, you learn a lot from it, like.
You do, yeah, and you learn a lot about yourself.
But as you said, at 19 or 18, life to live.
I started smoking, man. You were there when I started smoking. That was a ridiculous thing. But I wanted to play music. I wanted to be that guy.
You gave that a good go, like.
Gave it a good go, yeah. There's still time. It's fine. I'm only 24. 25 this year, man.
I know. I was nearly going to ask, are you doing the indoors this year? Are you still under 23? And then I was like, hold on. No. I'm 24, so... Quick maths.
Yeah. So, we're the same age.
Like... Yeah, or under 23 years.
We still have the indoors, but I'm senior men's now, and this is the last time we ran, we were underage.
Yeah, that's it. You see, like you think when you're underage, you're like, oh, it's grand. I'm so far away from senior. I'm junior, then I have 3 years of under 23, and by the time I'm senior, I'll be fucking 24. I'm old.
I missed all of that, and now I'm just senior, and that was kind of a shock because doing athlon or doing Tuam for the first time this year, or when I did it there a few months ago, it was
actually
that was a strange one because it was like we're doing senior and we're on the big course.
Last time we were in the senior race, but we would have been like junior or something, like, you know, our
we didn't have to do the full 8k.
Yes,
we were doing like 7k
or something, 6k or something. Yeah,
or we did like 2 short laps and 2 big laps when the other guys were doing 3 big laps.
I think maybe we ran with the seniors the time we ran in June, but we might have been under 23 at the time. So we had the same course, but you know, like, you might have come third in the overall race, but you were first under 23. So
exactly,
yeah. Like, like that,
and there was that's exactly what happened in our race. I was second in that race, but the junior men actually bet us, bet the senior men, because they're unreal. This guy William is insane. He's
William what?
Can't remember his second name. It's on the Cropple website. If you go on the Cropple website, that's something as well that I'll be doing on this. Whenever I get a proper setup, is I'll have my laptop and I'll run through whatever we have on the Cropple Athletics website.
Yeah.
Just reading out whatever's there, achievements that have been made, and different whatever's going on. For anyone that doesn't pay attention that much to the website, you can do it here. But that I'd like to say the likes of that now, not remembering William's second name.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's William. If you go on the website, he will be up on it because they did the resolution run, New Year's resolution run in Galway.
Yeah. I think Damien did that actually.
He did, yeah. He ran a 15 something. Nah. Top 3 ran a 15. It was Cropple.
Good,
yeah, it was savage. But I didn't even know that race was taking part. But I'm kind of glad I didn't do it at the same time because I'm kind of focusing on the 800.
What did you do for New Year's Eve? Were you out or anything?
No, I stayed in with Ali and we just watched some TV and had a glass of wine or a glass of champagne. No, go out. I have been out. That's a lie. I have been out, but it's been for a certain thing. So like a few weeks ago, there was my mates were playing. They've been over in England for the last year, and they've been really making strides.
They're the band that used to it, or one of the guys in the band.
One of the guys, Tom. He's the bass player. He was in the band I was in, or with him in Conman, and they've got Alan McGee, who was the Oasis manager. As their manager.
What's their new band name?
The Clockworks.
Clockworks, yeah.
They've always been known as the Clockworks.
Clockworks. His new band because he
because he signed them.
Yeah.
So they played last. It doesn't really matter on the date, but they played in the Roisin Dove and it was unbelievable. It was a sick gig, and another band, Turnstiles, played for them beforehand, and they were unreal as well. But obviously, I'm a bit biased towards Clockworks. They run very dear to me. So
they're flying, like
yeah. They're making. Well, look, I mean, from the outside, they're over in England. They're gigging every weekend. They're making a name for themselves. They've got Alan McGee as their manager, which is already a good thing. It's not a bad thing. They've got that. They've been touring for however long,
and like
coming over to Ireland, doing gigs in Dublin.
Do they make a good living off that? Like,
oh, it's not a good. No. They still have jobs. Like, they still
do.
Work. They? Yeah. They're still working. They're a working band, but I would assume they'd go into that job and go, look, I'm here for X amount of time. You can hire me or not. You just probably stay doing that until someone goes, okay, fine.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing, what type of jobs they have. I didn't talk about that with them when they were here. Because we just, we were just shooting the shit and we were just chatting. We got really drunk and it was an amazing gig and it was a great night. But they've, where was I going with that? Yeah, they've been doing great, and I really hope they do even more. They have new songs and stuff like that. I don't know if you probably would be into them. I mean, it's live music.
Yeah, I think last time we were speaking, I went home and like checked them out on Spotify. I thought they were good. Yeah.
They've got a lot more coming. You know, they're being very. They're not silent in any of that, but they've got the Bills and Pills is one of their songs.
Funny enough, actually, on the topic of music, I'm gone down a bit of a different route in terms of what music I listen to.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
So where are you heading now?
I'm listening to a lot of rap, I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah.
Rap?
Yeah.
What kind of rap?
Like, do you know the way, like, I always been into Eminem and stuff, like, do you know, when we were running and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
But really, really like Machine Gun Kelly and NF now. Do you know that?
Nice one. Yeah. I don't know any of their music.
I don't know, I just got into it. It's weird, because you know the way me and you would have got a similar music taste, and to be fair, that summer, do you know that summer?
Yeah, we spent all the time together. Forget that summer.
That's when I got like properly into music, like from you, like, because you would have shown me all your favorite bands. We would have connected on that. I would have been like, Jesus, class, like, do you know. So like I like, do you know, before that,
privileged.
Yeah, but genuinely, like before that, like sure, like growing up, when you're 13, 14, 15, all you see is what's on TV, the pop music that's out, you know, like.
Yeah, and I can't you're working in a cafe now, and I'm sure you're feeling the same way in the radio.
Oh no, I'm over music there. There you go.
Have you got Spotify? Have you got a setup? Yeah. Oh, I see now.
I have like 10 different playlists on my Spotify for work.
The go-to playlists. Yeah, you see, we need something like that, because working in the factory.
But sometimes the manager puts on her stuff, which is 80s, which is still fine. Like,
that's fine. You know, nothing wrong with 80s. It's not pop music.
It's 80s. So
it's good,
there's a few bangers on there.
Yeah, there are.
But yeah, so that summer obviously would have been where I kind of almost discovered music, because, you know, like we spent every day together, like pretty much, didn't we?
Yeah, it was pretty much.
Running, fucking
sleeping,
watching movies, staying up like 4 in the morning.
But over at each
You were on the mattress on the floor.
I was on the mattress
and I was on my bed.
Yeah. And we were looking at lava lamps.
Fucking hell.
We weren't even
sleep much.
We didn't sleep much at all. No, we were 100% getting Alzheimer's when we were old.
Yeah.
But they're so much fun. Climbing bales.
It was an unbelievable.
17 years of age. That was a savage summer though. That was a hot summer.
That was a hot summer. That was a
good summer. Yeah. And that was the summer that we had all planned to do a thing, just to spend more time with each other.
Yeah.
And then Connor took off
to France for the whole summer.
For the entire summer.
I think when we first went, we thought he'd be back in like a week.
I remember it. We were like, yeah, okay, cool, you won't be gone for long. And he's not coming back. Oh, okay.
Missed all of the outdoor track season. Remember the days in Tullamore?
Yeah.
The days in Tullamore, like we'd spend the whole day there.
The entire day, and then we'd take a walk down to the shop, and we get
Mike, can we lift Tullamore? Yeah, meet me at Jolie's at 7 a.m.
7 in the morning. Okay, I'll walk, fine, no bother.
Our race is at 5 p.m, but grand, we'll meet you at 7 a.m.
God, why did we do that? Oh yeah, because none of our parents would bring us, and we couldn't drive this time.
Yeah.
They were good fucking days.
They were simple times.
I remember them. Simple times. Oh my God, yeah. But such simple times.
Yeah.
All
anyway,
you had to do was run.
That's when I discovered music, essentially, and that was all my favorite bands and all my favorite artists and stuff. And yeah, I've been listening to all that sort of music since. But then I don't know. Recently, I just kind of got into rap, and as I said, I always kind of liked Eminem and stuff. So I was always into that. Kind of like, but I've kind of discovered more artists now in terms of that. But it's good to broaden the horizons anyway.
Definitely, yeah. You're going to go down the mumble route soon.
No.
Yeah, you say that.
I draw the line there.
Do you? There is a line.
Yeah, no. There's a lot of rappers out there that I detest.
There's a few things that you see. Rap was never really on my radar. I knew, I liked. The only kind of songs I really did like on the radio were the ones that I'm not familiar with, which was rap. So it's like Jay-Z. But this is going way back, obviously, and it's Eminem and whatever else.
Everyone liked Eminem,
but I was so not listening to the radio or listening to what was even popular, which is rap. It's so popular
now. It is.
It's so popular now.
I mean, Stormzy, like
exactly, yeah. He's the shit.
I don't like Stormzy.
Fucking Glastonbury, like he played at Glastonbury. It's insane. But you have that. But it's never been in my radar. It's always been, first of all, acoustic music. Nothing against anything you can create on a computer, a lot of it can be created on a computer, and it's savage what they're doing with the sounds and the effects in your ears and all that kind of stuff.
But you can't beat the acoustics, though.
You can't beat the acoustics.
You can't.
And I always find myself going back to that.
Yeah, and I'm still...
Give me raw music.
Yeah, that's still my foundation.
Yeah, because I was listening to Royal Blood this week, and I've forgotten about Royal Blood a little bit because I've been on a podcast rampage. But it's nice to listen to music every now and again. And if I'm over at Ali's, it's 80s music because she's an 80s girl.
Yeah.
She loves her 80s and just the weird kind of quirky music and all that kind of stuff. There's a different vibe there. And then I have my own playlists, which consists of Biffy Clyro, who I've gotten massively into in the last 2 years.
You were massively into Biffy Clyro when I knew you.
Like was I?
4 years ago, probably.
See, this is a memory. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, cool. So I knew
because I remember
I was a fan. I don't remember being always a fan, but I was
I gave Biffy Clyro a good go. Never really got into them, but I remember you were saying they were good, and I gave them a good go. Liked some songs, didn't like others. Do you know, never had that connection.
You didn't have the connection like I did when I first listened to them. I was like, oh my god,
you have that with bands.
You do, yeah, you do. Because I tell a lie because when we were in school, I was told to listen to Biffy. And I was such a Muse freak.
Yeah, I remember that. Alright,
Muse was strong in my life, and that was the end all and be all.
Yeah, it was
be
just
all and
Muse,
end all. It was just Muse and Guns N' Roses. And once I gave Biffy a chance, and I'm such an idiot for not doing it at the time. But whatever. I listen to them now, and they are my favorite band right now.
But
there will be a favorite band.
You can't
for the rest.
You can't get into someone because someone else said go listen to that. It has to come from yourself. Like,
it does, yeah.
Like people said to me, like, listen to someone, and I was like, oh yeah, it's alright, like whatever. And then like
a
couple of months later, or like a year later, I'm like, geez, this is a good artist.
They're really good. Yeah, they're really good, and you nearly don't want to admit they're really good.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
don't want to admit it. Like,
Mairead has been telling me to watch The Good Omens, with Martin Sheen and Doctor Who, insert name here, can't remember his name, David Tennant.
Yeah.
And I just didn't for so long.
It's even worse for a TV program or
it is, because that's a full commitment.
Yeah.
That's a full commitment. Movie, fair enough. A TV program is a full commitment.
Even a movie, you're committing to 2.5 hours or 2 hours, whatever, an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Like in a song, at least you're only committed to 3 minutes. Like,
at least,
you can have 3 minutes.
Yeah, and then you can decide whether or not. And sometimes it isn't even 3 minutes. If you hit the wrong chord at the wrong time, I'm out. And
90
I'll never
seconds
listen to
in,
it
you're like, nah, not for me.
But with The Good Omens, I started watching it and I went, fuck, this is absolutely up my street. It's quirky. It's really funny. It's witty. It's smart. It's silly. It's brilliant in every way, and I recommend it to anyone who hasn't watched it to watch it. They're not gonna because I'm telling them to. But it's that thing. But when you do eventually give it a chance, it's great. And I remember being angry at myself, like, you just listen to what people tell you.
Yeah, but
just do it. But you're also so stubborn.
It just doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. You have to discover things on your own and be like, yes, this is for me.
Look at what I made. I discovered.
You almost want to take the credit for finding the artist.
Of course.
Or the
no one has ever heard about them before, and they've got 100 million listens on their
and then you turn into that person where you're like, oh, listen to this person or watch this.
Exactly.
Like,
right, going around looking at people going, did you listen to that track? Oh, you should listen to it now. It's brilliant.
Perfect example, actually. It happened to me recently where my cousin Keane, like, he sent me a song on Snapchat and he was like, listen to this. And I was at work at the time, so I actually saved it on Snapchat. You know, you can save things. Never listened to it. At Christmas time there, we were hanging out and I was like, oh, Keane, have you heard this song? It was the song that he sent to me, like, and he was like, is that a joke? Like, I was like, what do you mean? Like, it's a class song. And he was like, I sent this to you. And then I checked my Snapchat, and back in like September he had sent it to me. And I discovered it since.
Good job, Neil.
Yeah, good on
you.
So he was right about me. He knew I would have liked it.
Yeah, that's another thing as well, because people will be like, you can base a friendship off that.
Yeah, it was a Blink-182 song.
If you keep,
one of their newer ones, like one of the collaborations they're doing. They're doing a lot of collaborations at the minute.
Are they?
Yeah,
that's interesting.
You know,
I like those guys individually. I don't like them as a collective unit in a band. It's just not. I'm not. If it's punk rock, if that's what you want to call it, it's just not me.
I went through a real punk rock.
You did. Yeah, you loved all the small things.
Yeah, but even since, like, I think it was about 2 years ago, I went through a real punk rock phase.
Really?
Listening to like Blink 182, My Chemical Romance.
Are you going to go on their tour? You going to go check them out?
No.
Yeah.
I'm kind of over that phase now. I still think their music's class, like, and it is good music.
Their music is good. You can't deny it. It's good.
They're different to punk rock. They're like, they're almost like their own genre. Like
they are. Yeah, they're easier to listen to.
It's not like,
I think.
Do you know the way like punk rock songs sometimes are just all about like, you know, the music, the beat, whatever, but their songs are very meaningful as well. Like
very meaningful. Yeah. Like my mate is Thomas. He's got My Chemical Romance. I think his left leg is dedicated to My Chemical Romance. I'm not joking.
That's mad.
He has tattoo. Yeah. He's completely
covered.
I believe
it. Like
head to toe, he's completely covered. He's got Demon and Venom on his chest. The Marvel things. But it's from the Black Parade. He's got the lyrics and a character from the video.
Song?
Great song. I prefer. What's the song? Burn something. I can't remember the name of it right now, but it's
one of the more other popular ones.
One of the other, I think, it's pretty popular as well. But I the Welcome to the Black Parade is brilliant. Is that the album?
Yeah, it's the album. But
I always think like, they are good. He's shown me loads of it. They're really good.
Like the real punk rock's just all about the catchy riffs and stuff, and then
fast beats,
all
that kind of thing.
That's what I think anyway. You know more about music than me. That's just how I.
Well, do I? I don't know. You've got the memory that I want. I can't remember. I really struggle to remember shit.
Yeah.
But that's I've kind of always been in that. I've been down to dyslexia. And partially not paying attention for a bit of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole music scene is cool though when you're on it and when you're in it. It's stressful because you know when your next gig's going to come.
Yeah.
But rehearsing your own songs is cool.
I'd say so. Yeah.
It's a cool thing, and
it's always something I wanted to do. I always wanted to just have the confidence and the belief in my own music to be able to perform in front of people, but I just don't have that belief and that confidence. So
yeah, well, you're not meant to.
No, yeah, true.
You know, you're not meant to have it straight away.
Yeah,
you know, unless you've been told from a young age that you need to do this.
Yeah, it's very true.
You know, how are you going to get people to tell you you're any good if you don't do it?
Yeah, and it's so true. Like
it is, it is, and it's best come from people who they're the hardest people to perform in front of, but so long as they're not so biased and think everything you do is brilliant, your friends are the ones who will tell you that that's pretty shit, or that's really good,
and that's being a good friend to tell you when it's shit.
Yeah, it's like you could be, you know, and it may not be shit, but it may, you know, it
needs work.
It needs work. It needs to be improved. You need to. What about if you did this? What if you did that? I'm working on something right now with Tash, and we're like, you know, we got a few songs down. We were in a band a few years ago, and we're just trying to get something very slowly. It's trucking along. You know, it's a very early steam train at the moment. It's just kind of very, very slowly moving. But she's a great songwriter.
Yeah,
she is. Yeah, she's a good lyricist. But playing live, if I had to pick between the two, athletics and playing live music, it'd be playing live music.
I wouldn't blame you.
For the rest of my life. Yeah. That'd be fucking unbelievable. That'd be amazing. But of course it would be. Doing anything professionally is pretty cool, because if you do it professionally, hopefully you enjoy it. And I definitely would enjoy it.
Yeah, it'd be like a weird life to live though, I think, because you know the way you're always like, if you're very good, like, and you're always on tour, and you're just like constantly going from one place to another, like I feel like you don't even have time to take in the city that you're at. You're straight on.
From listening to people you don't.
From listening to them, or from looking at life stories, stuff like that. It doesn't seem that enjoyable. I don't know, like maybe you get sick of it. I don't know.
I think you'd probably, look, I don't know, I've never done it, but from objectively speaking, it does seem like a lot of bands kind of go hell for leather in the first few years, and then they've done maybe too much of the one thing, not enough of the other thing. The balance isn't right. So you find out then if you're able to be a band, you're with each other all the time.
It's like you're living in,
and you have to perform
It's like you're living in like a fantasy world almost. Though. Like it's not even the real world. Like, you know.
Yeah. And you either enjoy it or you don't. And there's going to be members of that. I mean, like, there's members, you hear about it all the time that people don't want to be on tour. Like John Bonham from Led Zeppelin didn't want to be on tour. Like once he had a family, he was like, I want to be.
Yeah, how do you have a family? How do you have meaningful relationships?
How do you have a family? How do you do that? How do you have...
You can't.
No, you can, but it has to be hard because I know the drummer for a band I listen to now called the Amazons. The drummer for them got married. And they were pretty big. They weren't huge, but they were known in England, which is enough, really.
Yeah.
And they were on the tour. They had just released their first album, and he got married just before they went on tour. Then I think they had a baby, and now he's in America, and they've been in America for months, and they're touring, and
Does the family go with him?
I don't know. I don't know because I followed him for a while on Instagram, but he doesn't put anything up really. So.
Yeah.
And if it is putting something up, it's partying or it's a live.
Did you see the film about Motley Crue that came out?
No, I watched.
Dirt,
I started to watch. What is it?
The Dirt.
The Dirt. Yeah. No, I started watching it a little bit, but I've read Ozzy Osbourne's book.
Yeah.
I've read Slash's autobiography as well, and it's nuts. And it seems like you're either built for it or you're not.
Yeah, I suppose that's it.
And if so long as you don't have too many things to remind you of home, it's like put it this way: the most successful people tend to be those that come from a broken home. Which isn't always the case. I know that, but
majority of the time it is.
Majority of the time there's something wrong. There's something's been happened that's terrible. Like, but the most creative things come out of the people who are the most damaged.
Yeah.
So, and these people will either come from a broken home, or they'll have been better as a kid, or they'll have gone through some sort of trauma.
Yeah.
Hence why all the drugs come into it, and hence why Ozzy Osbourne is still alive. But and Slash, even though he's quit it all, I think Ozzy is maybe quit it all. I don't know, but the touring scene definitely seems to take its toll. And you can absolutely understand, I can anyway, absolutely understand where the drugs would come in.
Oh yeah,
to it.
I even do. And
how else do you think you would keep going at that pace if you got that big? If it was a small tour, and
that's what I'm saying. If you're the biggest of the big, and then the pressure of staying that big, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's. I think you definitely put that on yourself.
Yeah.
You do. Or it's the record label breathing down your neck, going.
But it's yourself, like, because you feel like, oh God, like we're loved at the moment. How do we stay so relevant? Like,
that definitely has to eat into it. Yeah, and that's when you either get you're made or you're broke, or eventually after years and years of trying, someone else, the newest thing comes up and it's uncontrollable.
Yeah.
But bands that are still going, like Queen is still going with Adam Lambert, but it's still going, and they're happy to do it. And I know Black Sabbath had their last gig. Was it last year? The year before last? And they were still going.
Metallica is still going, sure.
Huh?
Metallica is still going.
Metallica is still going. Yeah. Rolling Stones are still going. Yeah. Guns N' Roses got back on tour.
U2 still going.
U2 is still going. Yeah, they only
doing a bit.
They brought out an album last year.
Did they?
Or something anyway. I don't know that. I heard new music from them anyway.
I watched a documentary recently on the lead singer of In Excess as well recently.
That was a series. That was on TV.
Yeah.
I saw bits of it. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. I saw it just when he got his hand injury. Before he got his hand injury, and then after that, then the last 2 episodes after
that finished his life, like.
Yeah, that finished everything. That was a weird thing. He turned into a completely different person.
I think he would have been fine if that never happened, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is mental, like.
Yeah, what was it? Did he get hit by a car or something?
No, a taxi driver got out and assaulted him, like, and he hit his head off the curb, like.
Hit off the curb, yeah, that was it, yeah.
Because he got knocked out, like.
Yeah.
It's mad.
That was it. As simple as that, and then turned into a complete...
Well, in fairness, it was kind of his own fault because he left hospital and stayed out there for a month, even though he was struggling with a lot of symptoms that would make you want to go back to hospital. But
yeah, well,
stubbornness got the better of him, and
the life got the better of him. I watched a documentary last night about Studio 54. That's well worth a watch. If do you know what Studio 54?
No,
it's just a club in New York, and it's nuts.
Yeah,
it's like you can rent it on YouTube. It was made in 2018. And it was just about how the studio came to be, and all the world's richest and most famous would be there.
Yeah,
Keith Richards to that weird photographer, and to Liz Taylor, to all the people. There was a pony brought in at one stage. There was all these different. A show was put on in this nightclub, and it's a whole story. It's well worth a watch, though. But yeah, I love the music. The music thing is the music industry is a weird weird animal. The Black Keys were on Joe Rogan's podcast. Do you know the Black Keys?
I know of them.
Yeah.
Wouldn't listen to them much, but I know of them.
Yeah, but you know the music.
Yeah.
It's good music. And they rinsed the whole record label. They were going through it, just telling people what it is. And it hasn't changed really. Like, you know, the band are the people who make the least amount of money.
Yeah, it's mad. Like.
And it's still a pain in the ass. There's that side of it as well. Are you willing to stick it out and be a guy, or not a guy, but a band who is able to go through that and able to fight through the bullshit of making a lot less than you should be for the amount of work that you put in?
Yeah. Someone else taking your money.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, there was a good 30 Seconds to Mars documentary as well, where they described the whole infrastructure of the record companies and all that. And they still have to pay for, even if it's a digital downloads. Don't know if it's changed now. Probably hasn't, but it might have done. They had to change. Sorry, no, they had to, if they were selling their digital downloads or whatever, they still had to pay for casing of CDs. And, you know, they had to pay for a hard, like, they had to pay for the actual case, the boxing of, like, all that kind of stuff for a digital thing that can be sent from anywhere in the world to anywhere in the world. And they still had to pay for all that kind of thing.
I would imagine that's finished now, though.
Don't know.
Surely they don't have to do that anymore.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. That was years ago. I think that was when they were shooting Closer to the Edge and all that kind of thing. I went through a very small 30 Seconds to Mars phase. Yeah. And very slight. So that's kind of,
someone I know that loves them. Actually.
I like the music. I'm a music. I like music. I'm not a lyrics kind of guy. Yes, you're a lyrics guy. Yeah, and I'm big. That's why you obviously rap is taken over for you, because it is all about the lyrics. It's you can listen to the beat, but it's the same beat. Yeah. Whereas with Biffy, it's a different beat. With Biffy Clyro, you're listening to a different beat with a different riff and a different thing in most songs.
There's two, like, I think there's two different. You know, there is two different types of songs. One that's kind of written for the beat, and one's kind of written for the lyrics. Like, am I right in saying?
Yeah, you definitely will be. Yeah, I mean, more often than not, the song comes before the lyrics. Yeah, because it'd be hard to write. Yeah, you know, music to lyrics. I'm saying I don't know really, but I know from my own experience of helping write songs, it's easier to write lyrics to a song.
I do it the opposite way around.
Than it is music to the lyrics.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's like writing a poem or something. You have kind of an idea in your head of how you want it to sound.
Yeah, well, if you have an idea and you're able to put it down.
Yeah, I suppose it's still writing the music for it.
I'm saying this as a guy who can't play music. Yeah. Like I can't play guitar or piano or anything like that. You know, I write, but I don't do. I'm a drummer at the end.
That's just the way I think of it. I kind of there's something. It's more about what I'm saying, and then trying to put a beat to it, but you kind of have an idea in your head, I suppose, of how you want it to sound, what sort of tone you want it to be in, and stuff like that. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, with a lot of the work that I did with Tom and Dylan and Conman, Tom had an idea of how the song wanted to go, and he would literally, can you give me a boots, that kind of thing, and I was like, trying to emulate it and work it out that way, and that was just that's the process. You try and work it out from there on. Yeah. And then you never really know if you get to the finished product or not. Yeah. That's kind of always a bit of a frustrating thing. But you don't want to add too much.
Yeah. I know that.
Brian Eno always said, when you think you should add more, try taking something out. Yeah. He didn't say it in so many words, but he said it something like that. He was like, you're always going to try and add when really you should be trying to subtract. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. It's just... that's the way of the music world, I suppose, and writing songs. Yeah. It's easier for me right now to run. If you're putting it like that,
it requires less brain power.
It does, yeah. Just kind of, it's brain power used in a different way. Yeah. Just check out my guitar.
Is that new?
I built it.
What? Mm-hmm. Serious?
I made that. Yeah.
How did you make it? What did you use?
It doesn't have many strings on it, and it's completely out of tune. Mahogany and oak.
Oh, it's heavy.
It is heavy.
Very heavy.
Yeah, it's tight grain mahogany.
It's nice.
It's actually modelled off Matt Bellamy's from Muse, his shape of his Manson guitar. It's not quite, but it's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it's cool. Very cool.
I don't think I would have ever shown you that.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
No, I've never seen it before, but I did notice it when I came up. But I just thought it was something that you bought. Like I did not know you made it.
No, well, right, okay. I didn't make the neck. I cheated on that. I bought a guitar for a tenner off a mate, but I made the body. I shaped the body, and all that.
And what about this up here?
I shaped all that.
Yeah?
I shaped all. Yeah, because that was a normal Fender headstock, and I just wanted something a little bit more sleek and, excuse me, but a little bit more straight and square.
How long did that take you?
An entire year.
Yeah.
School year.
Working away.
It was a Leaving Cert project.
Was it?
That was a Leaving Cert
How have I not
project.
seen it then?
It was put away. I think it was just away. It wasn't. It might have been out, but it would have been left.
I haven't used my electric guitar actually in a year or so.
Really?
Still have the strap that you gave me for it actually.
Oh, right.
Give me the strap.
I gave you the strap off that joke, didn't I?
Was that what it was?
I think
yeah?
it was the brown one.
Yeah, brown strap.
Nice one. Oh, cool. You're still using it though. That's nice.
Yeah, but
That's
I
awesome.
don't use the electric guitar as much anymore now.
Yeah. Well, acoustic is so much prettier.
That's interesting.
Well, not so much prettier, but it's for a different atmosphere.
Yeah, you kind of like you don't really just sit down on your own with electric guitar, like, you know.
Do you not?
I feel like you need someone else with you, like a jamming session or something. If you have
Yeah,
electric
well,
guitar, you know.
it kind of it calls for that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because you're turning
Yeah.
it on.
Yeah,
And you hear
so you don't you practice kind of riffs and stuff, but even that gets boring at times, you know.
Yeah. Tell you what is boring is going on a stationary bike. That doesn't look like a stationary bike. That's just a normal road bike. But this is something that I have to use to grow again physically for the muscles in the legs and all that.
Just like put it in front of the TV or something, then it's not as bad.
I know,
Do you
yeah,
do
but
that,
I do that. I do it up here, you see. So I just listen to. I put YouTube on or something like that.
Yeah.
I use that joke there.
I feel like the time flies though when you're kind of watching something. I used to play Football Manager while I was on the stationary bike.
Hey, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you still
And then
play
the time
that?
flew. Yeah, I still play that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was only talking to Carl about games up here, and I play an awful lot of the driving games still.
Oh yeah, we
Formula One and all that.
me and my two brothers always play Football Manager. It's class.
Yeah,
And we do a bit of real management as well now, so come on.
Yeah. What's hard? That came about pretty quick.
Oh yeah, like it's just
Is this why you got into psychology, sports psychology?
Yeah.
Is it purely for that, or just something? I mean, you've obviously got an interest in it anyway.
when I first finished school, like when I did my CEO first, my first choice was psychology. Like it was always something I wanted to do, just straight psychology, but I missed out on it by like 30 points or something. So then I ended up in business. Sailed through business and, you know, going through the motions through college. Didn't really enjoy it as such. Just kind of did the exams, found them okay. You know, business is business. Like anyone can really do it. Like it's almost like common sense, but you need to do a bit of study for it. So did that. Like got through the exams. Nothing special. Like wasn't anywhere near the top of the class or anything. Just got through it. Got a degree in the back pocket, but then never really wanted to, you know, sit down in an office, stare at a computer screen 9 to 5 Monday to Friday.
Yeah,
just wasn't for me. Just never.
It's
wanted
not
to do
for
that.
anyone.
Yeah, I did it for a year.
It's not for anyone because that's.
But it is for some people. Like some people are happy to go in,
and they are. Yeah.
You know, they like the routine of it all, the safety of it all. I suppose, you know, you get a good pay packet, you get good. You know, your life.
You
is
get
secure,
the benefits.
like,
you get.
you know,
You're secure. Yeah, it's the security. It's the security that I'm not really that fond of.
Yeah, and they just live for the weekends. Like, you know, they go in on a Monday, and then as soon as Friday comes, they're happy, and then
that's something I'm trying to avoid.
Enjoy the weekend.
That's you fall into a routine when you start working in a factory, which I still am.
Yeah.
And I'm starting again back at it tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, and you're up at 5, and you clock in, you stay there for 10 hours, and you're doing the one thing.
Yeah.
An office, I would take an office any day over a factory, but right now the factory just suits where I'm at in life. But you're on the one, you're doing the one thing every day. Your hands are wrecked.
I think that's what I like about the coffee shop. I think that's why I've lasted so long there, because like, yeah, you're kind of doing the same thing every day, but you're kind of like meeting different people every day.
Every day, and you've got loads of different jobs to do.
Yeah.
You could make coffee, clean the coffee machine, clean the counters, serve food, take orders, clean the tables, wipe down to everything, and then just chat with customers or whatever.
And that's why I think I've lasted so long there. It's hard work because you're on your feet, you're physically tired.
Yeah.
You're mentally tired sometimes.
Yeah, but I'd rather be physically tired on my feet than physically tired while sitting down and doing nothing all day. And then you have half an hour to eat a meal.
Yeah.
And it's just like, physically, it's a terrible way to live because you get a 15-minute break at the start. This is where we start. We start our day at 6 o'clock in the morning. 6:15, you start your shift. 9 o'clock comes, 9:10, you're up off your seat. If you're on a standing cell, you can stand. And then you're up to the canteen. We all take 20 to 25 minutes, but you technically get 15 minutes to have breakfast.
Funny enough, I have a good idea of kind of how that break goes, because in Poppy Seed we set up a pop-up cafe in Zimmer, which is a factory.
Oh, and right.
I'd be in there in the mornings when they're on their breakfast break.
So you see,
I see people come in, people get their breakfast, sit down,
every single day, and I bet every one of them have the same routine every single day.
Oh, and there's a much better. Eat the same food, same coffee, drink, whatever.
Same routine.
But it's so funny because there's just such bigger like smiles on a Friday, like. Or like better moods. Like,
I'm working there. It's the same thing. It's like, it's Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday we only work a 4-day week. 10-hour shift. We work a 4-day week. So it's nice that way. But that's it. It's all a fucking.
And you'd be serving them, and you'd be like, "Oh, how's things? Oh, sure, I can't complain. It's Friday. Like
it's Friday. Happy living for the weekend. I'm just so happy, and it's grand. Like it's if you're happy with that, that's grand. Yeah. It's fine. I'm not fucking happy with it. That's kind of why I started this podcast, because eventually it's going to take a while before anything happens with this. And I'm not even expecting to make money from it. But it's not for that. It's just for...
But at least you're doing something you enjoy. Like
I'm doing something I enjoy and I want to do it. And it'll give me... Working in the factory, thankfully, gave me the idea to do this. And listening to podcasts all the time as well. But it definitely... You can come up with ideas there because your brain wanders. And it can go down a dark place or it can go down a happy place. And it's just... It's also hard once you look up. It's the same place. It's the same people every single day, and it's tough on the head for me anyway. It is. I'm a sensitive old boy, and I want to kind of get out of it, but at the same time, as I said, it's frustrating. You don't want to fall into that way of life too much because I know working in clock out lifestyle is unhealthy.
Yeah,
it has to be unhealthy.
Yeah, it's not good for you.
If you show up for work fair enough at a time, but if you're waiting to clock in, waiting to clock out, it's that, and you're like, I'm free. Constantly mentality.
Looking at the clock,
It's like school.
Yeah,
and I put it down to it being like school, and that school is a way of teaching people to get into a factory mentality. Like
we're just all trapped from the start. Like from the moment we go into school, we're just all trapped.
Like, the minute you go in, I was 4 when I went into school in junior infants. And which is far too young for any kid to be leaving their parents or going into school.
But it's mad that because like no different from when you're like 4 until you're about 17 when I left school, and then I went to college and it hit me like a brick wall. Like you just you get up in the morning and you're like, I have a lecture, I can go if I want, I don't have to.
I don't have to go.
You're not like I wasn't living with my parents anymore, and all of a sudden you've all these choices, like, and
you were right the way across the country though. I got met in the middle. But I only stayed away from home for 1 semester.
I would have been all through school. Like I decided on when I finished my leaving cert, it would have been obviously June. On the 1st of July when the CEO closed, I decided on the 30th of June that I was going to Dublin, moving to Dublin ever. It was a spur of the moment decision essentially. Really? And I was still 17 when I went to college
Yeah,
and never really.
I was 19 doing the leaving cert.
Yeah,
but I failed the leaving cert the first time around.
So when I first went to Dublin, it was just. I remember the first week, and I was just like, I don't think this is for me, because it's such a big change. Like
it's huge.
And you move cause obviously
especially at that age.
Moved into the athletics house, and surrounded by everyone that was very elite. I almost felt unelite, and I was kind of like, well,
I definitely felt.
I don't even think I belong here.
Yeah, I felt the exact same. I was living with Carl Fitzmaurice and Dara Rennicks, and they're 2 top class athletes for the time and for the age that we were, and I went, oh my.
Yeah, so
I would go down to Tesco's, get pizza, come back up, and they were making stir fries. And all this kind of stuff. I'm not ready for this yet.
Yeah, and
which maybe sounds a bit strange to say, but I think there's an awful lot of people are in the same boat as you and I were at that time.
Definitely, and there was
away
probably,
from home.
There was 50 athletes in the apartment block I was in. I'm sure. At least 10 of them felt the same way.
Oh, if not more. It has to be, definitely. Yeah. Because it either makes you or breaks you as an athlete, say, or whatever. You find out if you're interested or not.
But as soon as you come out of your room and close your door, you just put on, a brave face and just pretend you're fine.
You're a different person.
Yeah.
Put it on. Yeah. It's hard. It's really, really hard.
Yeah.
And you're totally isolated from the world, it seems, when you're on your own. You're trying to go to bed and you've got a lecture at 9 o'clock in the morning and you're like, oh, this is the start of it now. This is where you have to kind of buck up and put on, as you said, a brave face in some incidents and just go out and just do it. And that's what really made me not want to do it.
There was only one reason really I survived college, actually, from when I first went in there.
Drugs.
I remember, no. When the very first night I was up there, it was like moved up on a Sunday, parents helped me move in, whatever. And then they left, like, and I'm just left there, do you know? And like, I'm just left in this new room, like there's one of my housemates in, because we were first years, like, so the second and third years hadn't come back in yet, so there's a lot of empty rooms around, do you know? They hadn't moved back in, and then met one of the girls that lived in the house, like 2 floors up from me, in the block, like, and turns out we were in the same course. Like, unbelievably, first year business.
Nice one.
And she was just like completely, like, she was a character, like, she was just completely panicking that night. So it made me feel better about myself. I was there, like, she was like literally just, to me, she was like Grania, like, we became best friends and we were just inseparable all throughout college because we were in the same course, we lived on the same block essentially. And I just remember just that night, she was just like flat out panicking and just made me feel like, oh, do you know what, I'll be alright.
Yeah.
It could be worse. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you could be freaking out and you're like, Jesus, but, it's not even Christmas exams and you're freaking out. Like,
so the next day, like, we just went to the first induction lecture together, and then from then on, like, you know, you have a buddy to go lectures with and stuff.
Yeah,
and, that's
and it all like it takes off from there, and that becomes a lot easier. Yeah. That sounds like when I left for college, it was I was driving at that point. And I had a girlfriend as well, so that made it a little bit easier, but it wasn't at the same time because I packed the car, and that moved on, and then it was like my girlfriend was there at the time, and it was again, it was just company on the way down to Athlone and driving down to Athlone. Man was an absolute wreck. Stephen was alright, he was fine. Dad was alright, he was comforting. Man was a mess. As soon as I drove out the driveway, I broke down. I couldn't control myself. I was bawling, crying. Yeah. I just couldn't handle it. I cried because I was like, oh, Man's crying, it's very emotional. And then it was like the realization of, fuck, I'm going to have to live somewhere else for the first time ever. 19 years of age. But anyway, I drove off and I cried and I cried and I cried and I got it out. I stopped crying by the time I got to Loughrea. It was like, you know, it's 5-10 miles, whatever. And I was grand again after that. But then it was trying to find your own routine. Yeah. And getting with it. But I didn't have anyone to go. Everyone that was in my course. You just need that one person, like. I didn't have that one person.
You just need, like, I'm telling you, that's why I survived college, like.
Yeah, I believe it because I didn't. Yeah. I lived with 2 athletes who, there was a third girl, or a third person there who was a girl, but she was never really there. And she every time she came back, she was so happy and she was like full of life and whatever. And the 2 lads were great and you could chat to them, they were fine. But again, they were all doing their own thing. And I can't even remember what they were studying. Carl was something sports.
But you get very isolated then, don't you? Like?
So isolated. I didn't have a buddy to go to class with. I walked to class and whoever was there, I just started chatting to them. Yeah. I do the awkward thing of not talking to them, and you just stand there with a coffee that's too hot to hold.
It's not even the lecture thing that's hard. It's like, do you know, maybe it was different because you might have had your girlfriend was in Athlone as well, was she? At the time. Yeah. But I found the evening sometimes when you didn't really have the friends at the start and you're just in your room on your own and you're kind of like, well, where do I go now? Like, what do I do? Go for a run, yeah, whatever, come home, make dinner. But then, like, you're just kind of on your own, like, as such, like, there's people around, like, and you try and mingle,
you can mingle, yeah. And I'm never one to just go up to people and just start talking.
Yeah, yeah. It's difficult. It might be the same. Like.
Yeah, it's just you're like, that's fucking weird. Someone did that to me. I'm like, you know, it's not weird, but it's like, okay, hi, how are you?
Calm down.
Like, things, you know, I'm not going to jump into the conversation. And go, hi guys, hey, what's up?
But some people do.
Will you be my friend?
But some people do, and I actually respect people that do that. You know, because it's hard to do.
No, it fucking is hard to do. I've never done it.
No, well, I wouldn't be able.
I've done it, but I made a fool out of myself.
Yeah.
But that college is a weird thing. Yeah. College, I'm glad it's over. It wasn't for me. It definitely wasn't. The course was great. I can't knock AIT. This chair makes it change now.
It's a few times.
It has been a few times, yeah. But I can't knock AIT. The facilities are great. Yeah. The college is great. They're there to help you. And they're like, of course they are. Just wasn't for me. Yeah. Living in Athlone, living away from home at the time. And it's weird because the minute I came home and I got a job and I left college, I moved straight into town. And I lived there for 2 years.
No problem.
I said no.
But
yeah, I didn't do myself any favors, like, you know. But I enjoyed my time there, and it was what it was. It was fun. We did the music thing. Ironically, when I moved into Galway, that's when the music thing started to kind of fade. I was playing more music while living at home than I was
in town.
In town, to one extent, yeah, because it costs so much. But that's for another time. But yeah, college is weird. Growing up is weird. 20s now, it's fucking mid-20s.
I think when my birthday's just gone, like, I think 24 is the first year now that I felt old. Because I feel like 23 is still okay, like 22 is obviously grand, but when you hit 24, like, you're getting towards 30, like, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
like
towards
Ali's 30 this year.
It's mad, like.
I'm going out with a 30-year-old.
Yeah, it's mad.
29-year-old now. Sorry, love. But then, you know, you're 30.
Yeah, I just think 24, I just felt 24 was old. For the first year of my birthday, I was like, because, you know, other years, like, I felt young, like, because I'd get to my birthday and I'd be like 19, and I'd be like, geez, I'm in like third year of college, I'm doing okay for a 19-year-old. I feel older, like, you know. Yeah. But this time now I've got to 24.
You're definitely ahead of the game being 19 and third year.
Yeah.
I was 19 in first year.
Yeah.
I felt like a fucking pensioner.
So I got to like all them ages, and I was like, you know what, I'm doing well for this age. I feel older, like I feel like I'm living a 21-year-old's life, but I'm only 18, stuff like that. But I don't know, this year I got to 24 and I felt like, not that I'd gone backwards, but I was kind of like, maybe I should be doing better as a 24-year-old. And maybe I feel like I'm living the life of a younger person.
Think that as well, a lot of the time. But you look at the life objectively.
Yeah. You're your own worst critic, like.
You are.
Because
you're so
like,
bad.
Someone else will be looking at your life like, oh, geez, he's achieved a lot, like, at his age, you know.
You've got a car.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's that. It's the little things like that. Yeah. It's like you've got a car, and it's like, yeah, I've got a car, but I'm still living at home. It's like, yeah, but you've got a car, and you've got a job, and
actually reminds me of a very good story, and that I experienced during the summer. I was working up in Athlone actually during the summer, and I was managing apartments up there, and our very first guest to come in May, like, because the students had moved out. You know the apartment block, Glenallen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was managing.
You told me about this. You were managing that whole thing.
When did I see you then? It was over text, I'd say.
It was over the run. It was that one. You were telling me about it, wasn't it?
I was telling you we were going buying it at that time. The company I was working for was going buying it.
Right, yeah, okay.
So I managed it for
and you
the
were
summer.
going to talk to Mike about...
Yeah. So I was managing it for the summer, and I was up there every day, like, and we were doing short-term letting on it. But anyway, the first people that booked in, they showed up, and it was two, like, teenagers that were down from Dublin, like, and they had no place to stay, but they booked into booking.com. They hadn't paid. It was when we hadn't the payment set up, so they'd reserved, but they hadn't paid. So two of them landed, and they were like, oh, like, where this person booked in. And I was like, all right, well, you have to pay this amount now before I can let you in. Didn't have any money on them. Looked fairly rough, like, and they're like, oh, our cousin is coming. It's his name's booked under, he's at work. He's at work until this time. So I was like, right, well, I can't let you in or whatever. So my boss came up then, and he was asking me, oh, the first people checked in. I was telling the story, and he was like, oh, are they around? Have you a number for them? And I was like, yeah. So he rang them then. He brought them back, and he, like, basically offered them a job there. And then he was like, here, you can stay here for the weekend. That's grand. Help out, whatever. And the cousin then came, and he had been working at Mr. Price warehouse, and he stayed for the weekend. He was a good guy. His name was Jordan, and he was a really good guy. And I kind of warmed him as soon as I met him, and the other two anyway didn't really work out. You know, they were quite ungrateful for all that we gave them, and it just didn't work out. But Jordan was there. He tried his best to work for us. He wasn't the best worker, in fairness to him, but I got to know him quite well just from being his boss or whatever, like, and got to know his life story. He'd been kicked out of home, like, he was homeless for, like, he'd spent half a year on the streets, kind of. But he was a really good guy, like, you know, the good heart, like, you could see it in him, like, and he had a good job, and he was making good money as a salesman, and then he went down the drugs route, and that's where it all went bust from. So he got into some heavy drugs. Was
he dealing or taking?
Taking,
right,
living on the streets. So eventually, by the end of summer, anyway, like, it had just all gone. The wheels had come off for me. No job. We couldn't employ him anymore. It wasn't good enough. He destroyed his own apartment just from being messy, like, and having friends over that. And eventually, like, he was actually being targeted by dealers, like, for, you know, money, whatever. So he was kind of almost hiding out. And I was like, listen, Jordan, like, there has to be something else out there for you. Like, what are you going to do? Like, he contacted his family then in Dublin, because he was originally from Dublin. His dad was from Dublin, his grandparents. So he rang them, and he was like, listen, like, I'm at the rock bottom here. Like, so I bought him his bus ticket to Dublin, and I said, get on this bus, go to Dublin. don't come back to Athlone. There's nothing in Athlone for you.
Yeah.
He went to Dublin, and that was at the end of August, and he's been texting me kind of every few weeks clean since then. Has a new job in Dublin, turned his life around, like really, really happy with himself now.
No way.
And like, it's just a mad story, like, because you just like and it was that was my point. That's why I got to it, because at the time he was like to me, you know, you don't realize what you have, and he was like all I want, like, is I look up to you, like all I want is what you have. You've got a car, nice car, good job, nice girlfriend, all this, like, and then it kind of made me look at my life and say, geez, I'm not doing too bad, actually, you know.
Yeah, you're not.
When someone like that says it to you, like, you know.
It's all about its perspective, isn't it? When you have someone else's perspective, like, shit, you live for the next high.
Yeah.
Whereas you don't really have a high as such, you know, you don't get that, but
it was
that's an incredible story.
And he rings me every few weeks, and like he rang me at Christmas time.
What's he doing now?
He's working in just a petrol station, which is fine, making money, living with his grandparents.
He's off the drugs.
Completely clean for 5 months now. And that's following his dream, actually, of becoming a wrestler, because he's actually got an apprenticeship now in a wrestling school.
What?
Yeah, it's mad. But each of their own.
Oh yeah, of course.
But he's got into an apprenticeship now, where if he does well in it, and he's a big man, like, if he does well in it, he could end up, you know,
that
a dream,
is insane.
Like,
oh my god!
So like he's really pulled his life together, like, and like he texted me on New Year's being like, oh, like I wouldn't have made it to the end of 2019. I don't believe if we hadn't met and stuff like that.
You didn't get him that bus ticket.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
So it's mad, like.
That's
it's
insane.
Just crazy.
Yeah,
like,
you could just never be ungrateful.
Yeah.
Should never be ungrateful.
Yeah.
There's always going to be people who are over yourself.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, so it's nice. It's a nice story.
That's what we can take away from this podcast.
Yeah.
Always be grateful for what you have. My God, yeah. I complain about getting injured or whatever and not doing things I should have been doing, but it's cool to hear stories like that.
Yeah.
You know, you're living your own life. You forget that there are people out there the whole time.
Absolutely.
Struggling.
Like struggling big time.
And
we don't even know what struggling is.
That could have gotten so bad.
Yeah.
That could have been death.
Yeah.
There for him, be it through drugs or through just nasty people.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, there we are.
Yeah.
We can round it up there, man.
Yeah. That was alright, wasn't it?
That was alright. That was fine. That was not fine. It was more than fine.